Boom. What up, y'all? Thank you guys for rocking with us for another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. It is Monday, April 26th. Monday, April 26th. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you share. Sharing is caring. This is an opportunity to let everybody know that we are in the building. But like I mentioned before, if you are just getting here, just arriving, I'm pushing everybody to our YouTube page. So if you click the link somewhere, I think I'm gonna put the link up in somewhere. Put it in the comments so you can go there. What's up, Lisa? Thank you for rocking with us. Yeah, because Facebook got no love for me. So we're gonna work on pushing you guys. Yes, pushing the grower, the motivator, pushing you guys to YouTube because it's more better there. Hey, Auntie, how's it going? Great morning to you. So today we're gonna have an amazing conversation. Um, let's see. Hey, good morning, Mama Corey. Thank you for rocking as well. Rocking. Um, let's see. I'm in the wrong space. Spliggity splow. Today we're talking about why don't we listen? Hey, good morning, Miss Yvonne. Thank you for rocking with us. And make sure you share, tag somebody, tag a man, female, a kid, someone to be in this conversation because this is very important. This is very important. I feel like this is the reason that we have so many problems amongst ourselves, amongst our own community, amongst this country, because we don't listen to each other. We don't listen. We don't listen. We don't have constructive conversation. We don't build upon it. We don't listen. So today we're going to dig into that. I am racing against the clock, so forgive me. So we'll be here for a little while, not as long as normal. But tomorrow we're going to have an amazing conversation with a stock broker. He's not really a stockbroker. I mean, he's in investments. I mean, like he has actual job and a pretty high up there job. So it's going to be an interesting conversation on tomorrow. Isn't that a church kind of thing? On tomorrow, Tuesday, and then Wednesday we got another therapist who's actually working with the police to change some things. So we're going to talk about with that gentleman as well. So it's going to be a great week. And then Thursday, I got a fitness expert. So yeah, this is going to be a good week. But today we're going to talk about listening, because we are challenged to change because we're not listening. We're challenged to change because we're not listening. So make sure you chime in. This is going to be a great conversation. And good morning, everybody. This is your opportunity to share. You know what time it is. You know how it gets down. And if you've not checked out the podcast, listen to us on the go and listen to any episode you've missed, because some of my people in here are here like every episode. So I appreciate that. Any episodes that you've missed, make sure you listen to the podcast. Share the podcast out as well. And if you're on Apple, definitely, because it matters. And honestly, like with the podcast, there's revenue stream that we earn because we have ads and things of that nature. So definitely share that podcast out. For those that don't have time to listen to us live, podcast is a great way to listen to the brothers on the go. So make sure you share that out. Hey, good morning, Deborah. Great morning to you. All right. So without further ado, we'll be right back. I didn't want to catch
Good
that.
Morning. Good morning.
Welcome to another episode.
Good morning, everybody.
Move too fast. And bait. This episode is brought to you by StreamYard. Whether you're trying to up your production or just go live, StreamYard is the place to be. Go to bit.ly/StreamYard BOL. This episode is also brought to you by Flocknote. Start your free text community now at bit.ly free text now. That's bit.ly free text now. All right. Welcome back. What's up, V? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All right. So it's looking like it may just be me for a while. We got to see how this morning goes down. Let's see. Splitty splow. Yeah, my joint is like moving slow. Just get notifications. Yeah, guys, I need y'all to go to YouTube. Because Facebook is driving me bananas. And thank you, my podcast people as well. What's up, Terry? Good morning to you. Terry couldn't be here this Monday morning. He had that thing called work. Got to slang them cars, help them people gets around. He'll be on tomorrow if I'm not mistaken. So, like I said, today we're talking about why we don't listen, right? And some of the challenges when it comes to listening. All right, so real talk. So for 2020, I got on this crusade to begin to respond to those that drop facts, during the Trump time and COVID and all the crazy stuff going on. Hey, Ms. Keita, good morning. Good morning. Thank you. In YouTube land, if you can roll over to YouTube, please do so. Please do so. Please do so. I'm on Facebook because I know that's where you can reach out to the people that you're connected to. But please, if you're already here and you have a YouTube account, even if you don't, just go to YouTube. If you're connected to the Brothers Legacy, if you're connected to the community, the Legacy Walker Network community, and that's the text community, just click that link. It'll send you right over to YouTube. You can comment and do the same thing you do on Facebook. Like, I don't need the heart. I don't need the thumbs up. I just need you over there because that's where it really matters. Anyway, I was trying to respond back, right? So they say something crazy. I try to respond in either facts, a video, an article. Every time, I was like, I'm on a crusade to possibly change their mind and to give someone that is on the fence about the information. Should we go to iTunes now? Oh, that's the podcast. That's the podcast. You can go to, if you have an Apple, go to podcast, search Brothers of Legacy. It's not live, so you can listen to later, share that out as well. But you can go to YouTube. Cole. I thought I sent you some, but maybe I didn't. Let me know. I only got one Cole Johnson in my thing. But you can go to YouTube right now because I'd rather most of my people be in YouTube. Real talk. Because it's more effective. It helps. Yeah. Oh, you mean, yeah, YouTube. Definitely. If you can. If you can't, it's cool. Stay in Facebook because I'm not leaving it. I want everybody that's consistently here. I'd rather conversation going over there to help with the algorithms and help more people to see this broadcast on YouTube. Anyway, so I was on a crusade pretty much to, can you guys hear me well? I feel like it's so low. A crusade to try to change the minds of others. I'm thinking about moving over there. Right. Change the minds of others. And it's just, and I want to put something up just in case someone was on the fence or reading whatever craziness someone says at the top and they start scrolling through comments. My comment will help balance them out. Right. My wife's like, you're wasting your time. Why do you keep doing that? I'm like, I'm trying to maybe help. But what I realized, even when I drop nuggets that are 100% fact, right? 100%, because I've disputed so much stuff and you can't argue it. What happens, no one responds. And somebody I went back and forth with, I realized they're only responding to win. All right. I write on Facebook. Oh, nice. I appreciate your mama, Corey. She said, I'm on YouTube. I write on Facebook. That works too. That works. So what I realized, it's just a back and forth, right? So social media has placed us in this precarious position, where what's up, Dwayne? Good morning. What's up, Rich? Good morning.
What up?
Um, where now, as much as you want to change and you want to have fruitful conversations, it's very difficult because once somebody's set in their mind, at least on social media, it's hard to really have a good conversation. Then some people like to like throw information and then insult anyone that doesn't believe what they believe. Like it's like such and such. Like they'll say something such and such about the vaccine is why you shouldn't take the vaccine, and you're stupid to think anything else. And you're like, what? I dig. You have a position. I'm with it because I've said that because someone wrote something about Breonna Taylor one time, and they were the kind of in the anti Breonna Taylor, cop side. But then they said a few things, because sometimes people like then you make a good point there, and I was trying to start off with you make a good point. I agree with that, but this right here I can't, like I was trying to start a real conversation. All right, there you go. I appreciate that, Auntie. A real conversation. What's up, it's Shaw? Um, a real conversation, but I didn't get a response. And there's some people I tried with several, but you never get a good conversation, good response. And I had to stop my crusade. I was like, I guess my wife is right. It's not really working. It's
I
not.
don't even think that it ain't working. People don't want it to work.
I,
They don't want to hear you.
I,
The reason why you didn't get no comments because they went, oh, you know what? I ain't got no comeback for that. Skip. That's basically what happened.
right, Mr. Big Mac, welcome. Me too. Not
Big
sure
Mac.
who you are, but that'd be cool. Thank you.
Welcome, Mr. Big Mac 6 What up? What
What's up,
up?
Kathy? So yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Nah, I was just gonna look, bro. I had that conversation for about 3 weeks, and then I was like, I got to get off this kick.
Right.
I was like, because I think I had conversations about everything from Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben's to reparations
Right.
to,
Oh
and it's
Lord.
like I just sat back and I was like, no, y'all can't be this dumb. Because when I argue,
Right.
I'm the annoying cat that brings up every historical fact, every
Right.
book reference, and
Right.
everything else. So
Right.
you got to be a real dummy to be like,
Right.
well,
Right.
no. But so people just don't.
They don't want it.
People know.
Right.
They just don't
Right.
give a crap.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I don't understand how anybody can argue with a video
Right.
of a man being killed, but yet they
Oh,
do it.
right. Right. That's true.
They do
Like
it.
like I saw someone put on their Instagram, someone of the right wing persuasion. I'm not going to even call names any longer. But they were like, they said they want the names of Dante Long, not Dante Long. Forgive me, Dante, if you're on there, Pastor. Dante Wright. That's his name, right? Dante Wright. I want to miss his name. Am I get it right?
The kid that got killed,
Yes.
Dante. I just know Dante. I'm
Oh.
so tired. I'm so tired. Like
I
real
feel you.
talk tired. It's like
I feel
another one of these, and I might be in the streets like with that
right.
group from Stone Mountain.
Oh Lord. Right.
Look,
Right with the
I'm
guns.
joking,
Right.
but I'm joking, but I'm
I,
for real.
I know. I feel you. I feel you. Listen. But, oh, so he was like, I want the person, I guess that he robbed or did something to, and naming a list of those that were killed and wanting some crime committed against them, want the victims on. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like, we're not saying that they're perfect, they were good people. Like, we're not even saying they're great people. It's not that. It's how the cops handled the situation. This is what we focus on. So, but either way, like, seeing that, you realize, like, it's hard. Persuasion is hard, right? And people stick to, what they're comfortable knowing. Dante, right? Forgive me. But listen, I a lot going on. I know several Dantes. So it's I don't know, and so today I kind of want to discuss, like, trying to hear others as well, and that's kind of the point. Like, why is it a constant going back and forth? Why is it that we can't reach some kind of understanding? Like, I try to listen to everybody's side, just to try to get an understanding of why someone would think that way or why someone feels that way, and try to be kind of, I guess, empathetic, or at least listen to understand what, where they're coming from. Conversations require respect of differences, right? And that's where I try to come from, because everybody grows up different. Everybody have a different perspective on things. Go ahead.
And you got to also remember that when it comes to a conversation, it's not about the talk. The talk is the easy part, but the talk is not the work. The talk isn't the part that changes or makes influence or impact, or that's not just, that doesn't come with the talking. That comes with me hearing you, me setting my own mind up, out, down, whichever verb you want to use, and listening to you and hearing the message that you're sending, and then receiving the message the way that you're sending it. When that doesn't happen, which is 90% of the time, if you're watching Fox News or some conservative outlet, and you get a completely different story.
Right.
Like, everybody know that George had, like you said, everybody know that George had a history.
Right.
He had a record. But
right.
Tell me what his record had to do with him being in cuffs and killed on camera.
Right.
Zero.
Right.
Deal with the problem at hand, and if it's not a part of the current problem, don't bring it to the table.
Right.
Because the truth is, nobody does that when it's the opposite.
Right.
I had a conversation that it wasn't tough, but it made me question. I was like, man, how do I really feel? Because I was like, there is, when it comes to, like, I'm gonna ask you a couple questions, and you answer honestly. If you, I ain't gonna put you in the seat, but I'm gonna put you in the seat.
Yeah, Big Mac. That's what it does. That's where it does start at with the talking. But go ahead.
If you read a news story and the headline is "Teacher sleeps with student,"
right?
Give me a probability of the ethnicity.
Oh,
who do you think it? Who do you think is gonna be?
I'll play the game right. I'm thinking the Caucasian.
Okay.
First thought.
If somebody shoot up a school, who do you think is
first
be?
thought? Caucasian. Okay.
Mass murderer. At work, who do you think is going to be?
More than likely Caucasian. That's the first thought. First thought, guys. First thought. Like, someone said, "What's your first? Well, how do you see him?" That's the first thought.
Right. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, you there's so many different scenarios. Somebody cussing out the cop. Who's that going to be?
Cussing out the cop. Oh,
yeah, the cop getting cursed out.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, somebody calling the police on somebody because it looks slightly different.
Right.
Like, I mean,
right. It's our implicit bias. It's that implicit bias.
Right. And I know it seems like, wow, you on one of them today. No, I'm just talking about what we see every single day, and people somehow. Well, I know what it is. It's cognitive dissonance. I get it. I don't understand how.
Right.
Because some people should be too smart to accept the set of facts that are unacceptable by every other part of the equation. but yet here we are every single day, and that's why I got tired. Mr. Big Mac, I said what I said about Dante, not because um, I'm not the type of dude who's up on current events or things that affect in our community. I said that because I can go back and I can name more names in the last 10 years
Right.
than my kids have friends.
Wow.
And that's the point, that's the place where I am tired.
Right.
Like we have moment after moment, and you would think that somebody could hear us now and be like,
Right.
you know what, y'all got a point, but they
Right.
are still saying, "Oh no, y'all just overdoing it." Y'all,
Right.
do you know that they're like? Do you know that in Oklahoma that they're doing they're working on state legislation to ban protesting?
Yeah, I've heard.
And
Yeah, I've
then
heard.
on top of that, they're redoing some of their criminal statutes so
Right.
that if you commit vehicular homicide during a protest, if somebody's blocking a road, it's no longer criminal.
Wow. No, I didn't know
Like,
that part.
but
Changing the
we
rules.
got a problem because we
Right.
want to we upset
Right.
because I did some research, right, and I did the ten most expensive riots in American history.
Wow. Okay. Nice.
Now, 9 out of 10. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, yeah, it was 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 of the most expensive um, riots in American history. You know what the catalyst was?
What's that?
Black people being treated like black people in America. Not
uh,
dead serious. The only one that didn't stem from racial inequality or some horrible racial
right.
injustice was one in New York City in I think 1980 or 1977 or 1980. There was a blackout that hit the city
Yeah.
and people went cuckoo. It was in the summertime
Right.
and you ain't got no light, so people went crazy.
Right.
But the
Wow.
other nine,
Yeah.
all of them deals with something racial,
Wow.
some type of racial injustice happening,
Right.
and
Right.
obviously somebody getting off it not
Right.
guilty.
Right.
And
Right.
then the next thing you know, it's like, oh, y'all don't hear us now. You don't
Right.
hear us in the courtroom. So
Right.
it's almost like,
About that.
how
Right.
crazy
Yeah.
do I got to be before you can hear me?
Right. Mr. Big Mac says they want you tired. They want you to stop pinching. I'm starting to feel like that. That you might be
You're
spot
absolutely
on with
right.
that one because we see it so much. It's becoming. It's like almost getting used to seeing it. Like when you're doing the analogies, if you hear uh, unarmed man killed by cops, what's your first thought? What's your first thought? So it's crazy how one you're right, our minds get so set in seeing the same thing happen, so we're thinking, we automatically assume or automatically feel like we know what happened. Like you said, you hear unarmed man killed by cops, that's black man, first thing you're thinking. And I'm sure that's most of America. That is
Mm-hmm.
probably most of America, as much as right, left, indifferent, in the middle. I'm sure everyone thinks the same thing. First thought. Hey, sports car lady, great morning to you. Um, but I think we, I don't know, because I'm, if when it comes to George Floyd, like I would, it would take some restraint and patience, but having a fruitful conversation about a situation, I would rather have that than, a shouting match. So at least maybe I will see where you're coming from and then I can present my perspective.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the problems is, and this has been a problem for quite some time, but the social media thing, right? Of course, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, you know, social media solidifies whatever position you have, whatever thought you have. I can type it in YouTube and have all kind of YouTubers agree with whatever crazy
Oh,
assertion
absolutely.
I'm trying to put forth. So then I stand in a hard, opinionated truth because it's all everybody's opinion. But five of us, me plus the five I've watched, and the 10,000 people that watched each of these videos, you stay stuck in the space, and it's hard to come out, because people quote things from YouTubers like it's fact, and dude, it's an opinion, you know, and we get sucked into these cleverly done videos, that they put a little money in, they got a good intro or good music, and it looks factuated, but it's all an opinion, they do correlations. It's like that part is true. That correlation doesn't even match. Oh yeah, and you're right about that. She said, "Oh yeah, the algorithm was the most extreme of all your views." What's right? I was scrolling yesterday trying to find something silly, and they kept showing me Thomas. So right, and we can dig into that dude all day. He is the king of factuated opinions, and yes, that is a BOL word. Factuated opinions.
All you got to do is just look at whoever hot.
Right.
You find the hottest, the loudest
Right.
voices, and
Yeah.
I'd say 80 to 90% of, and I'm making, and it's like every statistic you make, what they say, 95% of statistics are made up on the spot.
Right.
but I would estimate about 80 to 90% of everybody who has a voice that can be heard.
Right.
Generally, they're probably not the voice to listen to. Because they're probably, hey, we really want you to listen to this guy,
right,
who spills 95% truth with 5% watered down fact, and then it's like, yeah, I'm sick. I ain't been eating right. I thought I ate everything but yeah, those I guess those seedless grapes that was made in the factory with all those chemicals.
Right.
I guess they really are messing with me. I guess those growth hormones in that chicken, they got me growing a little.
Right.
Long story short,
yeah,
the people that we need to listen to,
right,
or should be listening to,
what's up, Cole?
Generally speaking, they never. It's not that they don't have platforms, and it's not that they don't have followers. It's that they plateau real low.
Right.
And it's like, why? Why can't we get it? 50,000 people need to be here on this conversation.
Right.
And you got 8 strong, a strong
right.
8, a faithful 8.
Yes.
But I don't know how the algorithms work, but I just know that in life, the people that need to be heard generally have to fight tooth and nail just to get heard.
Wow. All right. Hold on. Before we get Cole in, I'm just going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. This episode is brought to you by StreamYard. Whether you're trying to up your production or just go live, StreamYard is the place to be. Go to bit.ly/StreamYard BOL. This episode is also brought to you by Flocknote. Start your free text community now at bit.ly free text now. That's bit.ly free text now. Bam. All right. So, Cole, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Dwayne.
What up,
everybody else?
Sir?
Flocknote, actually, Flocknote.
Hey, do you have a K underneath the microphone under the white line? Cole.
Oh.
What, K?
I was just.
Oh, Lord. No, it's negative.
Okay. Look, I'm looking at the shirt and I was like, I got it, man. What your man got to do with me?
What your man got to do with me? No.
I got it. I ain't
trying to hear that, Chief. Classic.
Yeah, all of y'all just showed how old y'all were.
Right. Oh, I know.
I know. So watching like, what's that?
You started with the K.
I got a man. I guess you know what's so funny, that wouldn't be that's not proper any longer. You can't do that. That's that would be harassment. That'd be harassment. Oh man. So what up?
How
So yeah, it's yeah, and like you're saying, actually, yeah, you go down that rabbit hole. They show you kind of I won't say they like right the big day in the sky. The algorithms kind of shift to put your mind in a certain place, and if you watch enough of those videos, you start believing that all of it's just true. You start believing that it's a fact. And that was interesting that you said that. Oh, Dwayne, you said 98% of statistics are made up on the spot, and that's 98% of the statistic I just made up on the spot. I was like really tripping when you said that. I was like, yeah, this is like a cycle. Like, yeah, 98%.
That almost reminds me of the line talk about dating myself. It almost reminds me of the line that LL said to Cannabis, saying 99% of your fans don't exist.
Right.
So I just think the algorithms are.
They heard mama say knock you out, son.
So what do you think, Cole? Why don't we listen? Is it the difficulty of sticking with the facts that you feel like you know and not being able to move, or like Dwayne said, cognitive dissonance? If I said that right, cognitive dissonance, or do you feel like presenting the right set of facts can change somebody's mind?
I personally believe that. You started.
Oh, you went mute. They're trying to shut you up, Cole. They're trying to shut you up.
See, that algorithm got something for your audio.
All right, I'm gonna give them a chance to fix that. So this is your opportunity. Make sure you share. Sharing is caring. Make sure you tag somebody, and let everyone know we're in the building. Let me read Kalinda's, and I'm gonna move down because she wrote quite a bit. Okay, hold on. Richard said, if I did videos about issues, I get it. Fact check. I've been non-biased research, non-biased before you put on YouTube videos, and it's my opinion. I state this. Yeah, it's my opinion. Definitely, people don't usually do that. I have seen so much justices I've lived and still living it because my son is Black, and no one can tell me that there's no systematic racism. I as a white woman, white people treat me like one of them until my son or boyfriend seen with them, and then whew. So you are a testament to what's already is still real. Hello.
Forgot to turn on
the legacy. So, Auntie says people don't like to listen because some just want to have the attention on themselves. Yes, indeed. Hey, all right.
So can I play this clip? It's not music, but it's from Bizzle. But it answers your question, and then it's going to be a great segue for Cole.
Okay.
If I were to ask you, do you believe that folks of color had equal opportunity and were treated equally in this country in 1963? Or whether or not Black children were treated equally in schools and had equal educational opportunity in 1962? I know right now that no one in here would say, well, of course, naturally they did. 1963 was a damn good year to be Black or brown in America. What are you talking about? Everyone, regardless of your position about 2007, would quickly acknowledge how bad it was back in the day because it's no sweat off your back. 44, 45 years later, it's easy to talk about how bad it was, but now see, here's the trick. What do you think white folks said when those very questions were put to them in 1963 and in 1962? At a time when the apartheid system in this country was very much in full effect. It was before the Civil Rights Act, before the Voting Rights Act, before the Fair Housing Act. In retrospect, we can all look back and say how profoundly unequal it was. How profoundly unequal it was. And yet when white folks were asked, some of them our parents, our grandparents, great uncles, great aunts, these ancestors of ours, were asked the very same question.
I mean, I get it. I get what you're saying. Don't play too long because they're gonna shut me down. The U police is probably on. I'm already gonna probably get a strike. Copyright infringement. I mean, the perspective. I dig it. It's that perspective, but
that matter perspective. Yeah.
How I don't know. How could you not No. Like
But that's the thing,
how could you really
do
turn?
know.
It's the saying, ignorance is bliss, and
Right.
it
I get
applied then and it still applies now.
right.
In to the clip that you played, Dwayne.
Right.
But yeah, going to the rabbit hole that you started me on with Positive K. Boogie Down Productions did an album called Edutainment.
Mm-hmm.
And I really do believe that a lot of people, they say they want to be informed, but they want to be entertained while they are informed. And if someone were to be just passing out facts, then to the masses, that person's going to get overlooked. 9 times out of 10, maybe 9.5 times out of 10, that person's going to get overlooked. But if you have a little flair to your stuff, you have a little presentation and a little style, a little panache, a little elan to your message, then you will draw people that ordinarily would look at you and think that you're corny and you're a buster. And I think a lot of that goes into those who are in the spaces and we all are in now, where we are trying to compete for that ear. And what is that way that we could stand out other than just being ourselves to grab that ear?
Right.
And you have that and you wrestle with the, okay, well, when does the information that I disseminate or pass on to people, when does it stop being educational? When does it start being entertaining? And when are those who are hardcore listeners or hardcore people who believe in my message, when do they look at me and they see that I'm a caricature of myself? And you wrestle with that. And I think we're seeing a lot of that with, YouTube vloggers and podcasters. We see that all throughout those who pick up a mic and speak. It's that battle that I think we all wage. And it's getting worse by the day because there's still more entertainment outlets that are being created. Just in social media alone, I mean, there's more social media outlets is being created. So I believe that is one of the biggest problems we have in terms of why people don't listen to anybody. Doesn't matter who it is.
Gotcha. What's up, Pastor? Good morning to you, sir.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning. You
Why
also
my
just
face
say good
froze?
morning to Mr. Big Mac 67.
That's you?
Is that you?
Really?
You know what's
Really,
funny?
man?
I was like, is that
Really?
Big Mac, Big McCrory.
Is that your rap name when you in Chicago, man?
Big Mac killing the game?
That was when I first
Yeah.
got on social media
Right.
many years ago.
Okay.
That's what because I couldn't
That's
think of a
funny.
name. I'm like, okay, well, they call me Big Mac, so I'll just get on there and call myself Big Mac.
Wow.
I didn't even know it was still active.
Right?
Hot diggity dog.
They never shut it down. They never
Thank
shut
you
it
for that
down.
nugget, man. That's beautiful.
And I'm sitting here like, man, why Big Mac leave when Pastor come in?
Right.
Right.
I was going to say, is that somebody we know from DC?
Right. Now he ain't say, he said, stop being emotional with your pitch. No, he said, stop guessing. That's his line. That's what I know is him. Stop guessing.
Right. Stop guessing.
Thank you for that nugget, Pastor. That was beautiful.
Let's see. Let me
I'm a
read these comments.
Well, good morning, everybody. Good to see you. Thank you for the compliments on the message yesterday.
Yes,
Appreciate it.
indeed.
You're about to make me cry.
Oh, no, don't do that. Well, someone want that kind of attention. Yes, right. They want to be entertained.
Some are that lonely.
Ignorance is no excuse. He said, I listened to your sermon on the road to work yesterday with Mom Pastor, and she enjoyed it thoroughly. Yes, indeed. Oh, excuse me. Yes, indeed. Yes, actually, they are lonely, and some don't know who they are and not focusing on others and doing something for someone else.
Look, Pastor, your aunt's just been dropping gems all throughout this show.
Right.
Oh, yeah, she's been on. She's been on fire today. It's like every time she plays
awesome.
keyboard, just
not the B-boy stance.
She just why she reminded me of Onyx, because all I heard when she said B-boy stance was,
yes.
I'm a B-boy standing in my B-boy stance. But actually, to the entertainment piece, I'll give you a quick example. and you're about the same. You're about the age, and you're definitely in the right region. I know you know the beef between Fulio and Young and Ace, or ATK and KTA. In reality, these cats are real about everything they're rapping, and there's plenty of bodies to solidify that this is not just music. However, the music is getting like 1.5 million views a day. I mean, I think the first 17 hours, the second disc video, was 1.7. I mean, was almost 1 million people in 17 hours. And they took a Fantasia song, When I See You, and turned it into You Know What's Gonna Happen When I See You. Like, he talking about smoking on dead. It's entertainment, is what I'm saying. It's facts and it's truth, and there's real people dying weekly behind this, but everybody else is sitting behind. Oh, did you see that? Oh, it was so disrespectful. He just said they went out to eat on your birthday. 4 of y'all got shot and 3 of y'all are dead in the worst way, and you back there jamming because it's to a Fantasia beat, and it's disrespectful. There's nothing entertaining about it. However, people are being entertained by the millions.
Right.
And real people are dying.
Right.
And real mamas are crying on the news. Like, he got my son on a CD cover. They're smoking on my kids, and I'm hearing it every time I hit a stoplight when somebody listens to their music. But we are entertained by somebody's real pain. And it's the same thing.
Wow.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, but someone has to allow that to get broadcast across the airwaves. That's the thing that you don't realize. You know, they control the narrative by putting that stuff out there. You know, and artists just want the money. They want the hits. They want the following. They want to make those ends. And we learned many, many years ago that there's only a certain type of messaging that they're going to allow. If it's too safe, if it's too clean, they're not going to allow it out there. They want that. They've always wanted that vulgarity. They've always wanted that violent approach when we're rapping or battling against one another.
Right, but here's the difference, though, Pastor. They ain't getting no money from none of these diss songs. This is just straight who could be the most disrespectful to the other people dead click. Like, they don't care about the money, because they took that song Walk 1,000 Miles, because I miss you. Then that song, they turned that into a diss song. Talking about I'm not gonna repeat the words of the song, but they turned that into a diss song, and in a week they had over 10 million views that they could never get paid off of.
Vanessa Carlson should be ashamed of herself,
because they didn't clear it with they didn't clear any of the music. They just took it and made it. It's the most viral trending beef. It may be in rap history right now.
But whoever posted it, if it's got over 10 million views, at some point you're going to see commercials in that video. Right. And somebody's getting paid.
But I'm saying the people who's getting paid have nothing to do with the beef, is what I'm saying.
What I'm saying is someone's
going to profit off it anyway.
Yeah, it's always a push for profit. It's always a push for money. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't matter what it is. You know, we're talking about the desensitizing America, right? Desensitizing the community. That's what this is about, you know, and it goes back to the earlier comment about who's listening and all that stuff when you guys first opened this thing up. You know, Dwayne, the reason I said what I said about the talking, they want us desensitized. Right. They want us to get to a point where we no longer react.
It's working.
It's not working for me.
No, it's not working. The reaction that is pushing towards me is different, because I'm tired. It's like I'm tired, but I'm tired at the point where it's like you having an argument on the playground, and you finally get to the point like, I ain't got that to say.
Well, see, there's a point where you get desensitized, and there's a point where you get apathetic. And I think there's many of us who are becoming more and more apathetic to what we're seeing and what we're hearing.
Right. No,
And
that's me.
mhm.
Oh, she got the pink. Oh, that's the mini me. She got the pink.
Yeah,
She got
yeah,
the pink
yeah,
bonnet on.
yeah.
That's my graduate.
Yeah,
Oh, congrats, man!
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Boy, wait. Oh, you
She
got one more. You almost got them all out the house.
oh, I'm
almost,
about to say you're almost an empty nester. Okay.
almost.
Oh, that he'll never be an empty nester.
Only
Well,
to
that's
introduce the grandchildren.
all right.
They got keys to the nest. He'll never be an empty nester.
They got
I love
keys
that.
to the
I love
nest.
that keys to the nest. I like that, man. That's beautiful, Dwayne.
That one just came to me.
So let me ask you guys this. Okay, so that Mr. Big Mac said something. He said they want you tired. They want you to stop paying attention. Do you feel like the infiltration of so much of the same is designed to wear you out, and not only just on our side, but anyone that's trying to think differently to the situations that are happening? You know, and it's funny. I want to put this post up. I mean, I doubt if I get much response, but I was thinking, with so many of the killings that have happened, and everyone has some kind of argument against just about every one of them. I kind of want to put up. So, how do you guys feel about Rodney King? Like, let's take it back. How do you guys feel about Rodney King? Rodney King was.
I put up that post before, AD.
Did you really?
I put it up in 2020. So I'll tell you the response that I got.
All right.
Just in case you want, since you're wondering.
It probably broke down to one of two ways.
I got told he was a big crazy black dude that was hopped up on LSD and other drugs. That's why he didn't feel the beating, and the police feared for their lives, and that's why they were acquitted.
One.
That was a real answer.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, you said what? Now say that again.
They said that he was on dope and had PCP, LSD, whichever one that give you that extra strength that you just don't feel nothing. And they said that that's why he kept getting up, and that's why the police didn't stop beating him, because they was afraid of him.
In other words, he was a drug addict, and the beatdown he had coming.
Right.
Yeah.
Does that sound familiar? Yeah, they said the same thing about George Floyd. So the more things change, the more it stayed the same.
Right.
Yeah, and what they want is for everyone to become desensitized. They want that after all of the protesting in light of George Floyd, they want, and so what people are missing now is what we oftentimes have missed historically. The sweeping legislation from the GOP that you alluded to earlier, Dwayne, as it relates to new anti-protesting laws. What they've done in Florida, they're talking about the most strict anti-protesting laws in history. They want to lead the charge. What they've done in Oklahoma, with writing a law that essentially says you are immune. They grant you immunity if you injure or kill protesters while you're trying to get past
trying to
them
leave.
in the street.
Yeah,
trying to leave the scene. Mm-hmm. So in other words, you've just given what we would consider on paper a deadly weapon, which is what a vehicle is described as, a deadly weapon.
Yes, it is.
Right? You're giving people a license to kill, and all they have to say is, I was afraid of protesters in the street. If you are jaywalking and you have an I Can't Breathe t-shirt on, you're going to qualify as a protester.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But what's happening is a lot of people will be protesting ignorant of the new laws that have been passed because they're not paying attention. They're not paying attention to the local legislation.
Right.
They're not listening to the news. They're going to listen to social media. They're going to watch social media. They're going to see somebody, please understand, you all, since the George Floyd, the verdict of Derek Chauvin, police have averaged 3 killings a day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's gotten worse.
And no one knows that number. Right? So what will happen is people will say, well, we marched, we protested, and it didn't do any good. So why even fight?
And you're getting to what I wanted to say, along with the desensitizing of society. just like television, just like we see in social media, we're seeing a programming in effect. And I think we're getting to the point where we're seeing the programming in all phases. Like we're supposed to see a police shooting or killing. We're supposed to have these two sides. The one side saying the police should be defended. The other side saying the victim had it coming. And then we go through the melodrama of, well, would this police officer be charged? And it's almost as if reality TV has gone out to our front door, and it's almost to the point where we're now popping popcorn and watching trials of police, if it gets to that stage, as to our form of entertainment. And what people have to understand, this is life. This is human life. Right. This should not be programming. Yet that's what we're being subject to. We're being subjected to programming.
It's normalizing.
Right.
Normalizing the narrative.
Right.
But it can never ever be normalized in our eyes.
It shouldn't ever be normalized.
Right. It can never be normalized. And if we allow that to happen, shame on us. The reality is 100. America has to wake up to the realization that Republicans run the nation.
Oh, say that again. Say that again.
Period.
Please say it.
And yeah, Republicans run the nation. Period. Yes. And we have to wake up to that realization. And until we fix that, nothing is going to change. People keep quoting, this is Jim Crow all over again. They're taking us back to Jim Crow. But too many people are ignorant to what Jim Crow even is. Mm-hmm. They don't align what connects the current system or the current climate to Jim Crow. They just say it's Jim Crow all over again. So if you're 25 years old and you have no idea what Jim Crow is, it means nothing to you. You might think they're talking about a bird. The problem we have is the majority of the community is ignorant to what's really going on, and they're living, who was it said it earlier, they're living through the lens of social media, not through research. Whoever has the brightest and best video out there, whoever's got the best snapshot, that's your news.
Right.
Because you can't depend on CNN, they're too far to the left. Right. You can't depend on Fox, they're too far to the right. Mm-hmm. You can't depend on MSNBC because they slant left, but they're definitely anti-right.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right.
Right. Everyone except Fox is got a left slant, leftward angle to it. Right. And as much as I can appreciate that, I have to watch everything and find the balance in between.
Right.
Yes.
That's what I have to do. But most people aren't going to do that.
No.
They're going to watch CNN, or they're going to watch Fox. Right. They're going to watch.
Did you hear what Hannity said?
Or they're going to watch Fox. I mean, it's just the reality. You said something. What's amazing to me is what's amazing to me when we talk about how we listen to people is a retired Hall of Fame quarterback.
Come on.
Former MVP, NFL champion, born and raised in Mississippi.
Yep.
Came out and said,
I still can't believe it.
I don't want politics in football.
Too late.
I don't want politics in sports. He said, I want to be able to turn on the TV and see a game. I don't want to turn on this TV to watch sports and see politics. And what's interesting is this same Hall of Fame NFL champion, former MVP quarterback came out publicly and supported Donald Trump.
Yes. Golfed with him.
Golfed with Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. He publicly denounced the whole Black Lives Matter movement, right? And even speaking to the desire to want to watch sports and keep politics out of sports is a political statement.
Right.
Right. because the best thing you could do is just be quiet if you don't want to be politicized. But what's amazing is he also is a regular on a show called Bowling with, and then his name. There's the title of the show is there's a Fox news person, a Fox person, Fox personality, whose last name is Bowling. The name of the show is Bowling, Bolling. That's his name. Bowling with, and then this quarterback's name. So that's the title of the show. Yes. And the person who hosts the show is a political pundit.
Yeah.
And this quarterback is on the show.
Yeah.
So the same quarterback is saying, I don't want to see politics in sport, but you're a retired NFL quarterback speaking politics to the world. So I'm and what happens is people receive that and they say, yeah, I agree. Politics shouldn't be in sports. They don't see that you're a sports person. You're an athlete talking about politics. They told so cognitive dissonance. I think you said it earlier when I was Mr. Big Mac.
Mr. Big Mac.
Yeah. AD did say that earlier.
Look, but here's the crazy thing about that situation.
Great point, Pastor.
That even drives it home a little more. You know what he said last June 2020, this same Mississippi quarterback that ended up getting drafted by the Atlanta Falcons and playing for the Green Bay Packers. You know what he said last year? That Colin Kaepernick was a hero, and he likened Colin Kaepernick to Pat Tillman, the Cardinal who was a DB who left the NFL to go back to the army to serve in Afghanistan and died. Wow. So in the same sense that you call this man a hero for kneeling for what you just spoke on, you turn around and say, oh, I don't think he really meant to do it.
Right.
See, I can explain that quite easily. The NFL twisted that arm and they said we had to go along to get along after George Floyd. So the retirees and the players and the owners all had to be at one, and they all had to be in concert and say, you know what, Colin, we apologize for you kneeling. And so Brett Favre was one of those that the Shield's arms twisted him, and he's like, oh, okay, I got it.
So am I hearing puppeteering behind the scenes?
Yeah, but what you're really saying is this is how you're positioning the NFL and the quote unquote leaders. And for my next trick,
thank you, perfectly said, sir. Because because I see the NFL owners, because most, if not all of them, are supporters of the GOP, along with the GOP themselves. They all are running magic tricks out in society.
Right.
This is straight up running magic tricks.
Get Jay-Z, yeah.
Have something that just distracts people and have them be all on social media, be like, oh yeah, this is a cause that we should celebrate, whether it's happy or it's angry or it's sad. We flock to it, and the next thing you know, some legislation just gets passed quietly, and then no one knows it until it already has been passed, and now it's been announced.
And so when it comes out, your history will be, or your resume will say, I was on the right side of that issue.
Right.
But the legislation will come out on the opposite side, and you'll be like, well, I had nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
Right? AD, do we know how many Democrats honestly wanted to raise the minimum wage in America? We know how many said they wanted it, even from the president, who put the number out there.
Right.
But how many of you all believe that those Democrats thought there was actually a chance that it would end up in the final bill?
Zero.
Right. The reality is we have to get on the right side of this. We know it's not going to pass anyway, but we can at least leave the impression that we were on the right side of this.
Darn right.
So much. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All righty.
And for my next trip.
Right.
The Monty game is in effect.
All right.
I'll say this and I won't say nothing else. It's like facing a bully on the playground. Sometimes you might get you might get beat up. Matter of fact, he a bully, and you kind of scared of him a little bit because he done beat everybody up that you done fought, who you done tied with, and you might have got the best of, but he done beat everybody up. Mm-hmm. But are you really gonna run? No, you got to fight him. You got to take that L, because when my kids talk about me, yeah, you know, Debo used to live in my hood. He got me, but he didn't get my cornbread.
Your question was, do we why do we listen? That was your question, AD.
Yeah. And I was just referring back to what you said about being on the right side of history.
Right.
Like it doesn't matter win, lose, or draw. You can't be stagnant. You right. got to do something. You got to choose this day what you're gonna do. Okay, if I get beat up and that's how I go out, you know what? What's the saying? I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, James Brown. Yep.
All right, guys.
But here's AD. The question was,
why don't we listen? Why don't we listen? Right, and that goes all the way around. That goes all the way around.
Right.
Go ahead.
It does.
Right. Exactly. So what I'm saying is, I am listening.
Okay.
I'm listening to the shouts, the hollers, the screams, and I'm also listening to the silence
and the whispers.
Right. Mm-hmm. I'm listening to what people say publicly.
Right.
And I'm listening to what they say privately.
Right.
Right. That old adage, I believe everything you say till you show me different.
Right. Right.
You understand? And in a lot of cases, your words don't match your actions.
Right.
Mm-hmm. The reason I brought up this NFL quarterback is because I can hear you, and I'm also watching who else is listening to you. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? And so we have to hear it. We need to know what it is that we're listening to, and this is the reason why. And this is why I said we can't get tired, because the truth is out here. It's ever evolving. It's continuing to be exposed. Right now, I'm a believer. I love the Lord with my whole heart. I love and I trust God. There is nothing that is happening to me that is beyond God's control. That's just what I believe. But I also believe that He has empowered us. He's given us abilities. Right. That's why you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. We tell our children, you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. That means you should listen twice as much as you talk.
Right.
So, but we have a lot of pundits. We have a lot of people running their mouths, but they can't hear anything. I'm never going to know how to fight this battle if I don't listen to my enemy. Who was it? Tracy Morgan. You want to find out about somebody? Just let them talk. People love talking about themselves, right? Let them talk. Let them talk. And I really hope that we're listening. And what I mean by that is because AD, part of your position is let's not ignore one another. Let's not overtalk each other.
That's the point. That's the point.
Right. When we're supposed to be heading in the same direction.
Right.
I can't be mad at you if we have the same goal. Why am I going to be frustrated with how you said it?
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, I get it. I got what you're saying, because the reality is we can spend all of our time debating over what color socks I was supposed to wear to the event, and the other people are coming in looking like kaleidoscopes, but they have the same message.
Right. Yeah. So you wrapped it up in a nutshell. It's just listening. I know sometimes, or even a lot of times, we may not agree with someone that's speaking from the other side, but you got to hear perspective. Sometimes it's their past that's causing them to feel the way they feel right now. George Floyd looked like someone that stabbed and robbed my mama. It's these, it's what is it? The implicit biases, the things that have been ingrained in my head. And so I need to hear that. I'm like, I get it. I get where you come from. But let me offer this perspective. And then maybe because I understand their foundational thought, that's where I start. And I can maybe put a crack in it and at least get them like, you may be right. They may hit you may be right with a but at least now they're going to walk away with that churning in their head. So I think that's
planting.
Yeah, you plant a seed, and it actually seeped in a little bit. Just like, okay, maybe in a year or two, they may hear something else. A good message, might change their whole thought process. So that's my whole thing. Just finding out where someone is speaking from. Yeah, right. Bias is a dangerous weapon. It's the worst when you're a gatekeeper. I need this job, but because you see me, you got this bias. Now I'm not gonna get it. I need this loan, but now you got this bias. I'm not gonna get it. I need this housing, but because of this bias you have, I'm not gonna get it.
That's why you got to know the truth,
right?
Because
right.
that's what makes you free.
That's
knowing
what makes you
it,
free. Yeah.
not just what you said, the slants and the bias. It's all around. The truth is in there somewhere, but until you embrace that truth,
right, and you got to understand,
all it is a bunch of generalizations, biases, and slants
that keeps you in bondage.
And you got to.
Hey, everybody were enemies until Jesus showed up. They came together for one purpose. They all agreed that they needed to get rid of Jesus.
Right.
Did you just say that Jesus made the rest of them click up?
Yep.
People don't understand the underhandedness of the overtness of a comment like that.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So we appreciate you. We got to roll out. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. We're talking about finances, and investing. So definitely be here. It's going to be a great conversation. Bring your questions. Bring them all. Have every single question you can think of when it comes to investing, because this gentleman is an expert at it. Been at it for over 20 years. He knows. He got some heartbreak as well in the investment game that I may not dig into, because he's really passionate about that hurt that he felt. But we're gonna dig into it tomorrow. So we look forward to seeing you guys. Right. We look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Make sure you share. Listen is an art. Yes, you gotta listen. Listen before you respond. Listen more than you respond. All right, so we see you tomorrow. Same time, same channel. Peace out. Wait, hold on. Know that we love you, but God loves you more. Continue to pray. Continue to pray. Continue to pray. All right.
I didn't want to catch that. Morning. Good morning. Welcome to another episode. Good morning, everybody.
This episode is brought to you by StreamYard. Whether you're trying to up your production or just go live, StreamYard is the place to be. Go to bit.ly/StreamYard BOL. This episode is also brought to you by Flocknote. Start your free text community now at bit.ly/freetextnow. That's bit.